Hi everyone, my name is Amity and this is Read by Amity, and today I am doing a very overdue February wrap up. So in the month of February, let me just get my reading journal here because it has been a hot minute since February, let me tell you that. I read in the month of February, I read a total of 10 books and approximately 2,600 pages. So still a great reading month, but definitely more of a slumpy one for me. Most of the books I read were audiobooks, if I remember correctly, but still a good number nonetheless. Today I'm just going to put the books beside me because I am flustered and I just finished filming a book haul and I'm not going to pull the books out of the shelf, so the pictures will have to do. So to begin with, to start off my month, I read Mr. Celery by Sally Rooney, and that's a short story about almost like a sugar daddy relationship, but not quite, but there is an agreement and it's a age gap relationship. It's very short. I really enjoyed it. I wish it was a book, but nonetheless it was 5 stars. Yes, then I read Ice Planet Barbarian by Ruby Dixon, and I read that one for the House Salt Book Club. That one was a 2.5 stars for me. It was fun. Wild. I don't plan on continuing with the series, but it was fun to read it nonetheless. Ooh. Next I read Loveless by Alice Oseman, and this one really hit me hard. I connected with Georgia so much and it ended up being a 4.25 stars for me. I just cannot get around the miscommunication trope, and it really annoys me when it takes friends and partners the whole book to get to a resolution. And I know that that's kind of the idea of it, miscommunication plot, but that trope just drives me up the wall, so it couldn't be a 5 star, but otherwise it would have been. The next book I read was The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion, and this one was great. It was melancholy and beautifully written, and I rated that one 3.75 stars. The next one I read was The Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams, and I read this one for the Blackathon. I was part of the mystery... I was part of the thriller horror mystery team hosted, who was led by Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, and that book was so good. I found the characters super witty and super funny and sarcastic, and I absolutely loved listening to that one on audiobook. I rated it a 4.5 stars, and yeah, I just loved how quick it was. The next book that I read was a reread for me, and that was Bunny by Mona Awad, and we read this one for Katie Colson's Smart Salon, the first ever group book that she picked. And of course she had to pick her favorite, and it's also one of my favorites, so that one was a 5-star read for me. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's weird and kind of creepy and confusing, so it's not for everyone, but definitely one of my faves. The next book that I read was Camilla by Sheridan Fanu, and this one is the essentially female story of Dracula, female Dracula, and this is the story that inspired Dracula by Bram Stoker. So yeah, I don't know if he officially ever admitted that it inspired that, but it definitely did, and I ended up rating that one 3 stars, which was a little bit disappointing because I do love Dracula, but I just felt like it was, obviously it's old, so I can't fault it for that, but I just felt like its writing was a little bit too dense for my liking. The next one that I read was The Silent Woods by Kimmy Cunningham, and I read that one for the Book Troop's February pick, and I rated that one 2.75 stars just because I was really expecting a horror out of it, or at least something a little bit more thrilling, and it was more of just a sad story about a dad and his daughter. And don't get me wrong, the writing was great and the story was fine, but it wasn't what I wanted from it, and that just really threw my rating down the drain. for that one. So it was a fun experience, but unfortunately the book just didn't hit the mark for me. The 9th book that I read in the month of February was The Secret Life of Church Ladies by Disha Fillor, and that one was fine as well. I just think that that was right when I was hitting my reading slump, so I ended up only rating that one 2.75 stars. I think maybe upon reread it could be a 3.25, but I wouldn't rate it much higher than that. It was just a little bit too dragged out for my liking. And the final book that I read in the month of February was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and that one absolutely broke my heart. I rated it a 4.5 to 4.75. I think I need to reread it and spend some more time with it and pay attention to it when I'm not heading headfirst into a reading slump, but I was in a reading slump and I still enjoyed the hell out of it, so goes to show what. Alright guys, my camera ran out of batteries, but I was getting towards the end of it anyway, so I figured I would just wrap it up on my phone. So sorry about the audio and the lighting change. That is everything that I read in the month of February. My reading month this month is going all right. Not as good as January did, but that was like 26 books, so I can't expect to do as good as I did in January. But yeah. Hopefully I'll get the March wrap up out on time this time, and I plan on getting my April TBR up as well next week maybe. Yeah, end of this week, start of next week. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go, and yeah. Let me know if you've read any of those books, what your thoughts were on them. My ability to reply to YouTube comments is a little bit lacking at the moment. I will admit I don't really check my YouTube studio that often, just because I don't have the need to really, but when I do reply. Otherwise, you can get in contact with me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm on both of those under Read by Amity, and yeah. Until next time, bye guys!